All right, so I'm sitting inside of a 2018 Honda Accord. This is the sport model, and this is actually the manual transmission, so it's a 6-speed. I'm just going to walk you through what the features and functions of the car, in case you're thinking about buying one or have already bought one. So start over here. You've got our auto up-down windows. I've got my window locks, my door locks, and of course my mirror controls are all powered. Down here on the dash, you're gonna notice a couple buttons. So the first top one with the round circle around it works with your Honda sensing controls. Then this is vehicle stability assist. This works along with your traction control. So if you lose traction on one tire, it'll transfer power over to the other tire to help balance out and correct for the skid. Above that, you'll notice you have your trip reset right here. And then of course you have some brightness levels that you can affect up here. When you toggle it, you can see it's gonna come on and off. So over on the steering wheel, first thing I'll show you is your Bluetooth control. So to answer a phone call, hang up a phone call, to place voice command, things like that. If you have the smartphone connection set up, so you've plugged into the USB, where the USB is down here and here, you would be able to pull up using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto onto the screen. This comes into play there because then you can use the voice command features for Siri, for OK Google, things like that. So just something to keep in mind. It is something you can use and take advantage of. Above that, you do have your volume controls, so you can see them right here. Some different buttons from previous years right here. So your home button, if I toggle with the home button, it's gonna change up here, you'll see. And then with this rolling scroll here, I can scroll up and down, and that will give me a lot of different options I can view here instead of having just a tachometer. One of my favorites is actually right here, the traffic signs. It'll use the camera that it uses for the lane keep assist to detect the signs on the road and tell you what speed limits are. So it's great if you go into like a work zone, it'll pick it up, whereas like GPS won't pick up stuff like that. This will. So it's a really cool feature. But there's a lot of different things you can see over here. It just depends on what you prefer. You know what I mean? Whether you want maintenance reminder stuff. So some of this stuff carries over from previous generations, just different presentation. But I definitely like the traffic signs just because I think that's something new and nice. I love being able to see my audio over here nice and big so I can see what's going on in case I prefer that. Speed and time is something you had previously. Range and fuel is something you had previously. And then of course, if you just want a classic tachometer, you have it. So your left side is gonna be digital and then it's analog over here on the right side as far as the display. So it's just a nice setup. It's real clean looking and works really well. So that's what's going on over here. And then of course you have a back button. That's the last button I didn't discuss. Now over on the other side of the steering wheel, this is where your Honda sensing features are gonna be, or I should say some of them. So lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control are gonna be controlled from right here. To initially get them ready, you would press main. When you press main, you're gonna see ACC and LKS come on. So I'm flashing them on and off. That's adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist. Lane keep assist is this button right here. When I press that, you're gonna see some dotted lines come on up there so you can see them flashing on and off. This works from 45 miles an hour to 90 miles an hour in the vehicle. It does not work when the windshield wipers are on, so keep that in mind. What this is gonna do is it's actually gonna use this box right up here. There's a camera in it to detect the lines on the road. When it detects those lines, this will fill in solid. When it's filled in solid, it means it's now reading the road. If you start to veer a little bit out of your lane, it'll actually alert you and correct for you. So it's a super sweet feature. It's nice and subtle. You can overpower it, so don't worry about it like jarring or anything like that. It's something you can control. The adaptive cruise control, once I get up to a speed I want to set, I would press the set button. From there, I can set the distance using this between me and the car in front of me. So it'll keep that distance no matter who's in front of me. And when you press it, you'll see that'd be the least amount, very most amount, and then you can make it less, that sort of thing. So depending on how much space you want to leave between you and the car in front of you. So if I set my speed to 65 and the guy slows down to 55, it'll leave whatever space I create and slow down until he speeds up or I get around him, and then it'll speed back up to my speed. So I don't have to turn it off, cancel, resume, do any of that stuff. It works for me. Over here on the left side, you notice I do have auto on-off headlights and I do have fog lights, and then my windshield wiper controls are over on this side. The touchscreen over here in the center. So super simple to use, really easy and understandable. As far as what you can access, if you want to move buttons around or anything like that, you just press and hold. It'll light up, and then it'll give you the tutorial on how to move stuff around. And you can see, I mean, it's that simple. There's nothing to it. And then when you're done, just press done. So you can move anything around, and you've got your quick touches up here on stuff you can get to. So pretty easy. As far as the source and what this car offers, I'll go to right here. You have FM, you have AM, you have Bluetooth audio, you have USB and the smartphone connection. If you're in the 2.0, it does offer XM satellite radio, so keep that in mind. Other features, in case you're wondering what's the difference between an Accord Sport and the 2.0, it's going to be satellite radio, it's going to be a moonroof, it's going to be blind spot indicators in the mirrors. So it's going to offer some of the features you would typically see in the EX model are going to land in that 2.0 Sport, along with it has the larger engine, of course, and the transmission change, depending on if you're looking at automatic or manual. So just keep that in mind in case you were wondering what those differences are. So that's what's going on there. Jumping back to the home button. Chipometer information is pretty simple and straightforward. If you want to see your info here as opposed to over in the dash where I was showing you where the trip can be replaced, the tachometer. FM, Bluetooth audio, I think these are simple things. The settings button, I like this only because it has some different things in here that you might want to access. Vehicle settings, this is stuff I would typically go over with someone if they purchased the car from me. And this is where I can get to like my door and window setup if I want to change my door locks. So auto door locks, auto unlock. So just features like that you can change if you wanted to set as far as like security relock timers on how long it leaves before it locks the car back. So that's just different things that I usually walk you through. But know that these are available here to you in case you want to mess with them. Your lighting setup, stuff like that you can play with also. So and then of course all the rest of the stuff as far as, you know, the display connections, if you need to get to a Bluetooth connection, things like that. They're all right here and easily accessible for you. So not hard to navigate through this system. So that's what's going on here. If I slide it one more over, it's just whatever I have left over there. And I can move, like I said, all these buttons from window to window, depending on where I want to view them. So that's what's going on up here on the touchscreen. I mentioned it earlier, and I'll just briefly show you this button right here. That would light up once I plug my phone into that USB down here that I was talking about earlier, as far as using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So that's where you would access, and then it would pull up on the screen and look completely different. Moving down, you do still have a dual climate control, so I can control left and right separate of each other. Right now they're synced, so you can see if I change this one, it changes this one. If I unsync them, now I've got low and I've got 65 on this side. So that's what's working there. So sync button is right there in case you want to mess with that stuff. And then, you know, my other controls are right there. Pretty self-explanatory as far as that goes. All right, so this is a 6-speed manual transmission. As far as how it works, it's pretty simple. The only thing is, I mean, throw into reverse, it's just all the way over into the right. So in case you're wondering, and when you do that, it'll throw up the backup camera just like all the other vehicles. And you got 3 views. So I've got a wide angle, I've got a standard view, and then I've got one aimed straight down so you can see the edge of my back bumper right here. That way, if I was backing up to another car, you can see the shadow of that car in front of me. I can see exactly how close I'm getting. So I don't have to have the guy stand out there and go, you're this far, now you're this far, you know, holding his hands up. So that's what's going on there. So it's a short shift box. I like it. It's an easy shift and it's real quick, so there's not much to it. It doesn't have a whole lot of play. It makes it easier to use. So it's a fun car to drive. Down here, as far as what you're seeing here, Econ button will improve gas mileage of the car. It shuts down some of the electrical systems on the front end of the car, affecting things like the AC unit and, of course, the accelerator. Over here, your electronic parking brake. So to set it, put my foot on the brake, I lift up, and when it's on, you'll see that red light come on. When you press down, it releases it. You'll see it's now off. So that's a quick indicator for you. Brake hold. This is a great button for this car. Let's see if I can create some shades. You can see it there. So what this does is when you come to a complete stop and you're in drive, it'll hold the brake for you. This works great for this vehicle because it's a manual transmission, and if I'm sitting there, I don't want to be rolling around. So it gives me the option of being able to sit there and hold the brake for me until I take off. So great function, especially if I was a new driver. This would be super helpful. Down in here, you can see I do have the center console unit. Does flip open down here, and then I do have an additional power outlet down there, so you can see what's going on as far as inside of this vehicle. It is a sport, so it does come with a black interior. It only comes with black interior, and you can see it's trimmed on the sides with leather, and then it's a cloth finish up the middle. So yeah, this is the 1.5 liter, so you can see it does have the black finish. It does have the graphite inlay as far as the dash and sides. And then it does have the leather steering wheel and the leather shifter knob. Then if I was moving up a model to the 2.0, I would have the moonroof here additionally. But this is the 1.5 liter, just so you know what I'm sitting in. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can always call me 512-443-4300 and ask for Justin. You can email me at jfuller, that's the letter J, and then fuller@howdyhonda.com. Or you can respond to the YouTube video, and I'd be more than happy to help you out. Thank you much.